For the millions watching around the world, it is LFL football night in Ontario, California. Hello, LFL fans. Mitch Mortaza joining you alongside Bobby Huco. A little bit later, Desi Mitchison down on the sidelines. Bobby, here we are in Ontario, California. We're just 50 miles east of Los Angeles. Got a chance to enjoy the city a little bit yesterday. Now it's an epic matchup. You've got the Seattle Mist, the Legends Cup champs, versus the Los Angeles Temptation. By any stretch of the imagination, this is epic early in the season.
Absolutely. With all due respect to Austin and Dallas, by the end of the season, I think it's going to be Los Angeles and Seattle battling for that Western Conference title.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a pair of real loaded rosters, specifically Seattle. How does LA compete against Seattle this afternoon?
Well, during the offseason, Los Angeles went out and acquired two of the top free agents out there from Seattle. Lily Cranston, the emerging safety, and all-fantasy center Megan Hansen. Not only do they add a lot of talent to the roster, but knowledge. They know how the Seattle system works. All about those offensive plays. It's going to be fun to watch this tonight.
Now, we're talking about Seattle. This is a team that's coming in 1-0. You'd think they'd be happy, but they didn't have the performance they wanted against Austin. Now we take a closer look at the Seattle Mist by going down to the field with Desi Mitchison.
Thanks, Mitch. Despite a 44-8 season-opening thrashing of the Austin Acoustic, this Seattle Mist team was not happy with their performance. This is a roster led by head coach Chris Michelson, who demands perfection. In talking to Coach Michelson, he is committed to his scheme of riding the arm of KK Matheny and the legs of Stevie the Bull Schnorr. This is a veteran squad that signed yet another key free agent in Kim Chase, who just so happened to play for Los Angeles in 2015. We're bound to have some drama when these two teams line up tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Desi. The stage is set for LFL football night. It's the Seattle Mist battling the Silver and Black. Kickoff is next.
First half option Seattle elected to receive. Good luck, take care.
Back to Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario, California. That's a look at KK Matheny in this mega matchup. Los Angeles versus Seattle. Danica Brace and company. This should be a good one. We're going to go down to the field with Desi Mitchison.
I'm here with Coach Tui of the Los Angeles Temptation. Coach, how do you make your team believe that they can beat the stacked Seattle roster?
Well, we have a stacked roster of our own, so we're not too worried about what Seattle's got going on right now, and that's what we've been practicing for all since training camp, to get ready for this kind of roster. I know Chris Michelson. I know how he operates in Seattle. He came in to bring in a team. He wants that title back again. We want our fourth title back, so we're going to go back and forth with this, but we're ready for him.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
You got it.
Back to you guys.
Coach Tui told me this week his team is ready to go. The only question mark he's not sure of, he's confident, but he's not sure of their quarterback, Jane Caldwell. This is her first start ever in the LFL.
And that's Monique Gaxiola going to get us underway. An incredible crowd here on site Sunday afternoon football.
Go, defense, go!
That kick sails out of bounds. That was Melee Rich back to receive. We're going to get our first look at this powerful Seattle offense led by that young lady, KK Matheny. Led the league in passing in 2015. One of the more solid pocket passers we're going to see.
Absolutely. She had a great year last year. She won the title. Her first game this year, she was off. It wasn't a typical KK Matheny game. I mean, she was very embarrassed about her passes. She was so embarrassed about her passes, she tried to wipe her fingerprints off the ball. I'm looking to see a different KK Matheny tonight against LA.
Yeah, KK Matheny, an absolute perfectionist. A perfect fit for this offense. This is an offense that we talk about every week when we see Seattle. Very involved, over 150 plays in this playbook. We're going to open it up from the first play from scrimmage. That is complete to Danica Brace. Brace going for 8 yards on that reception.
That is classic Chris Michelson right there. First play of the game, everybody in the world thought they're giving the ball to Stevie Schnorr. They go play action pass, hit Danica Brace for 8 yards out of the backfield. A quick snap right here. This is Seattle. I love this offense.
A quick strike offense. That is to Jenna Weiss. Weiss, the all-fantasy center, coming over from the Tampa Breeze. Alongside Brent Renda and KK Matheny, now setting up a 3rd and 3. Matheny just looks in complete control of this offense, Bobby.
Way different than the opening night for Seattle. She looks great tonight so far. I love the no huddle. So right now they have LA back on their heels.
That is Sage Steinmetz. She'll carry for only a yard. Now we meet the starters for Seattle.
Stevie Schnorr, running back.
Danica Brace, tight end.
Sage Steinmetz, tight end.
Jessica Hopkins, wide receiver. Bryn Renda, wide receiver.
Jenna Weiss, center.
KK Matheny, quarterback.
Watch out for that new addition in the backfield, Dominique Malloy, one of the top sprinters at Arizona State in the United States.
They will not go to Dominique Malloy. Instead, it's the bull, Stevie Schnorr. That'll be enough for a Seattle first down.
Let's go, line up.
Chris Michelson can pick his poison at running back. You have Stevie Schnorr, the bull. You have Dominique Malloy, the rookie of the year. And you have Sage Steinmetz, a former MVP. He's loving this offense.
You want to talk about thunder and lightning and then add thunder back into the equation. You've got a lot of power backs, and then you've got Dominique Malloy, who you picked up from the Vegas Sin as a third down back.
And there's three other runners. You have LaShonda Fowler, Melee Rich. It's unending, unbelievable.
That is Dominique Malloy. Look at her get to the outside, now cut inside. That is the speed that they wanted as part of this offensive package, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Absolutely the most dangerous back in the league. Watch these cuts. There's nothing there. She gets 10 yards out of nothing, and nobody knows where she is. Incredible running back.
Dominique Malloy, one of the home run threats in this league. We saw her with the Vegas Sin, averaging almost 7 yards a carry. You just don't see that kind of explosiveness.
Not at all. Chris Michelson told me he needs to get the ball in her hands any way he can.
A 1st and 10 now. KK Matheny looking to throw into the end zone. Overthrowing her intended target, Bryn Renda.
Bad read there by KK Matheny. Sage Steinmetz was open quick underneath. Agam Chichindu had a great season in 2015. You can see there, in my eyes, on the edge at cornerback, she is one of the best ever in the LFL.
She's a great tackler. Not one of the better cover corners you see. My argument has always been she's aggressive. Move her to the front line, maybe in a rover type position. Not a great cover corner. That was just simply overthrown by KK Matheny. Now a 2nd and 10 play. Matheny under center. Misdirection handoff. Dominique Malloy simply losing her footing. Gaining 2 yards on the carry.
They tried to bring Malloy inside on an inside handoff. She just got tripped up on her own feet. She didn't know what happened right there. They're trying to get her the ball in different scenarios, and there it didn't work.
Now a 3rd and 8 play coming up for this Seattle offense. This game living up to its hype thus far. Both teams playing very well. That's Lily Cranston, the former Rookie of the Year nominee for the Seattle Mist, now playing in the silver and black. It'll remain 3rd and 8, and we're going to have a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Seattle. It's their first charge timeout of the half. That's my bad.
That is head referee Jeff Davis, and we're going to take our first timeout with a score still 0-0 here in Los Angeles. Back to Citizens Business Bank Arena in an epic Western Conference battle. The Los Angeles Temptation taking on the Legends Cup champion Seattle Mist. Now driving inside the 10-yard line. Motion there, Dominique Malloy, fake inside dump off. That looked like a little shovel pass to Stevie Schnorr. Monique Gaxiola on the tackle.
You got to like that continuity by Coach Chris Michelson. They brought Malloy in motion again, just like the previous play. Fake it to her, then they dump it off to Stevie Schnorr. Getting a small gain, but you can't go broke by taking small profits like that. I like that call.
That shovel pass now sets up the biggest play up to this point in this ball game.
Very impressive opening drive by Seattle. Almost halfway through the first quarter, and they're driving right down the field.
Very methodical by KK Matheny and Chris Michelson. Rolling right as Matheny looking to the end zone. Has a receiver. That is Bryn Renda, the near 6 feet tall receiver. The cover corners have no chance here in Los Angeles.
A trip set. KK sprints out. Nobody covers the #1 receiver for Seattle, Bryn Renda. Wow, what a drive for Seattle.
You got to watch some game film if you're Los Angeles. Number 19 has got to be spied on.
Unbelievable. They brought the girls in from Seattle. You have Lily Granston, who knows every play in that Seattle system, and they leave Bryn Renda wide open in the end zone.
Coach Tui Soinoa absolutely flabbergasted that you allow Bryn Renda wide open in the back of the end zone. This is an extra point attempt from the 1-yard line. Again, Matheny rolling right will walk in. Gets blown up a little bit by Chelsea Hart. There's that spunk. Number 15, that is why she's a Legends Cup champion. Every score, every yard counts for her.
This is a totally different KK Matheny than we saw in the opening game for Seattle. She is fired up like this is the Legends Cup. Did you see her explosion going around the outside like that? Wow.
Jane Caldwell now, formerly of LFL Australia, and her first snap under center for Los Angeles. This will be a handoff. Kia Takarangi, fellow Australian. Takarangi carries for 8 yards on that carry.
What a run by Takarangi. There was absolutely nothing there. Seattle had that shut down. She made 8 yards out of nothing, destroying that defense.
Now let's meet the starters for LA's offense.
Kiana Takarangi, wide receiver. Cynthia Schmidt, wide receiver. Sherry Awaga, tight end. Quincy Hewitt, tight end. Megan Hansen, center.
Naj Johnson, running back.
Jane Caldwell, the quarterback.
The key tonight is going to be quarterback Jane Caldwell. How she reacts against that championship Seattle defense, and she's replacing legendary Ashley Salerno at quarterback for the Temptation.
A young lady that has not had a lot of reps under center. Joined the team in the offseason about a month and a half ago. Lucky for her, this is not a very complex offense, but you still have the timing routes and everything you have to work out.
And in Australia, she played quarterback in Australia, but she never saw these types of defenses as she's going to see tonight against Seattle.
A 3rd and 1 play. Caldwell looking over the middle, and that is Danica Brace, the 2015 league MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
This is why Coach Michelson moved her to Rover. Watch her eyes. She's reading the quarterback's eyes right there. Caldwell drops back, makes a great play on the ball, but you can tell this is Caldwell's first year at quarterback. She did not move the secondary with her eyes, and Brace read that perfectly.
We all critiqued about the move to Rover from middle linebacker. As we said, she had absolutely the best year of any player in league history in 2015 at the middle linebacker position. Then controversially, she was moved at Rover for the all-fantasy game in Guatemala. And unbelievably, it's working out to be a good gamble.
It's a perfect move by Coach Michelson. It allows Brace to be herself and move wherever she wants around the field.
Dominique Malloy exploding off the edge, then getting lit up by Monique Gaxiola. That carry good for 5 yards.
I absolutely love the way Malloy, she keeps her knees above traffic, and the way and how quick she hits the hole. Any quarterback would love to have her in the backfield.
That Malloy run will set up a 2nd and 5. Ball remains at the Seattle 15-yard line. Suzanne Mapes and Megan Hansen putting a lot of pressure early on KK Matheny. They're going to come off the edge again. That just seemed like a design screenplay to Bryn Renda. Nothing doing as we meet the starters for LA.
Suzanne Mapes, defensive end.
Lily Granston, free safety.
Monique Axiola, middle linebacker.
Autumn Chichindu, lockdown corner. Ty Emery, strong safety. Chelsea Hart, cornerback. Megan Hansen, defensive end.
You mentioned it, the defensive ends, Mapes and Hansen, they have to get some knockbacks on KK Matheny for LA to have any success tonight.
Stevie Schnorr gaining 4 yards. That is good enough for a first down. Tackled by Lily Granston, the former Seattle Mist player. Granston and Megan Hansen doing the best they can against their former team, but this is a loaded offense.
This offense is loaded. Coach Michelson mentioned he might go more to a two-back set where you have Stevie Schnorr up front, the power back, the fullback to get 2 to 5 yards, and then you have the scat back, Dominique Malloy, who can go coast to coast in a heartbeat.
A 1st and 10 now for this Seattle offense. Ball out to the 22-yard line. Matheny remains in the shotgun. Rolling right, looking down the field. Now going to check down Stevie Schnorr. The Bull looking impressive in the open field. Schnorr gaining 11 yards on that dump off.
KK Matheny was looking for the holes in the cover, too, on the fades on the outside. Instead of trying to force it, she dumps it off to Stevie Schnorr, and Schnorr at all times can put a little truffle butter on anything and puts a 1-yard gain into 11 like nothing.
You could see the LA defense huffing and puffing. They've been out on this field a long time in the first quarter. We are under a minute remaining, 1st and 10. Ball at the LA 17-yard line. Matheny under center. That is tossed right. That looks like Dominique Malloy. Good open field tackle by Chelsea Hart. Hart, another one of those impressive defensive corners for Los Angeles.
Coming off the edge, there's no one better than Chelsea Hart. We haven't mentioned her all game because of all the other All-Stars in the game. But to catch Malloy like that, great play by Chelsea Hart.
And that should be our final play of the first quarter. A quarter that saw Seattle dominate, holding the ball almost 8.5 minutes. KK Matheny going 6 of 7. As we go to break, Seattle up 7-0. Back to LFL football night. We are in the second quarter of a monster matchup in the Western Conference. The Seattle Mist versus the Los Angeles Temptation. And here's the Mist offense looking to the end zone, overthrown. Again looking for Bryn Renda is KK Matheny.
That's how you break up the Seattle passing attack. You have to hit KK Matheny. She had a touchdown wide open, but she got hit while she was throwing the football. LA has to keep the heat on Matheny.
A quick strike offense again to Bryn Renda. You could see the frustration on Renda's face, not happy with KK Matheny.
These two have been connecting for years. That's a bad pass by KK Matheny. You have to keep that ball down in the chest area. She put it up. It became a hospital ball. Receivers hate it when you put it up and open up their midsection.
Yeah, but you're just a pro football quarterback. What do you know about the position?
You got to put it right on the money. Bad pass by KK.
A 4th and 7. Those two usually on the same page. You could see very upset with one another. KK Matheny and Bryn Renda. Now a 4th and 7 for this Seattle offense. From the shotgun, looking over the middle, overshooting Danica Brace. Seattle will turn it over on downs.
KK Matheny has a tendency to throw the ball too late. You got to throw it on the receiver's break. All 3 receivers were open there, and she waited, and it was overthrown.
You could see the frustration on Chris Michelson's face.
You hold the ball for an eternity. She was wide open off the spike immediately. You held on. You caused that hit. Which one? On the jet that you've got Ogden crushed you on. You were holding. You wait until they're just wide open. It was so wide open. It wasn't even funny.
LFL defensive coordinators, take note. That's how you hit KK Matheny. She gets a little bit rattled. She's late on the throw. Coach Michelson right on.
Caldwell going back to work for Los Angeles, nothing doing. That is Sage Steinmetz from the DN position. Bobby, Jane Caldwell struggling early.
Absolutely. She's a veteran. She played running back in Atlanta, quarterback in Australia, but tonight she's trying to do too much. She has to slow herself down and take what the defense gives her.
No gain on that Caldwell carry. Setting up a 2nd and 10 for this Los Angeles offense. From the shotgun, Caldwell, a design quarterback sneak and getting some decent yardage, almost 9 yards for the Australian quarterback.
That's what she needed. You're right. It was a quarterback draw. It was worked out perfectly by the receivers and quarterback Caldwell. She got 9 yards. Maybe this is going to kickstart her.
As the LA offense, you've just got to stay out on the field. You cannot have another quarter where that high-powered Seattle offense holds it for nearly 8.5 minutes.
You're absolutely right. That was a key stop by that LA defense. Now it's up to Caldwell.
A 3rd and 1 play now for the Los Angeles offense. That is scary. Sherry Awaga. Jane Caldwell finally coming through.
Wow, that ham is tasty. What a pass by Caldwell, and get the women and children out of here. Sherry Awaga is going to be on fire right now. I love that pass.
You don't envision Sherry Awaga on a deep pattern that way, a deep post pattern, and certainly the placement for Jane Caldwell to the outside shoulder, beating Jessica Hopkins.
Not only that, Mitch, but they isolated all fantasy safety. Jessica Hopkins 101 against Awaga, and Awaga beats her.
That is the extra point attempt by Naz Johnson. She will not get in. The score will remain 6-7 Seattle as we take a media timeout. Back to second quarter action here at Citizens Business Bank Arena, and a high snap. KK Matheny under heavy duress, getting absolutely blown up by number 17, Megan Hansen, might I mention, a former teammate.
Absolutely. She was very lucky to get rid of that football. It was a high snap, but Matheny could have handled it. She just bobbled it, and you can't do that against this hot LA defense right now.
Megan Hansen, an underrated defensive end, has struggled as far as a center position, but on the defensive side of the ball, one of the more aggressive players in the league.
They might have found Seattle's Achilles heel right there. The more you get at Matheny, the more you hit her, the more she gets rattled.
She is a very small-statured quarterback. Now the handoff to Stevie Schnorr. That is what you do when your passing game is not on. A nice shove in the face by Agam Chichindu. Stevie Schnorr, one of the more consistent backs in the league.
How about that combination? Stevie Schnorr, the bull, against one of the meanest players in the league, Agam Chichindu. In fact, Chichindu is so mean that her dog committed suicide, Mitch.
That is horrible. I don't understand why your dog would commit suicide because you're mean.
Just didn't like the owner. She's great. She's a nice girl, but on the field, she's mean.
Agam Chichindu, considered one of the dirtiest players in the game. We saw a glimpse of it on that play. That's Stevie Schnorr again, this time to the right side. That'll be enough for a Seattle first down, gaining 6 yards on that toss play.
Wow, Delaney Hall is asking her teammates what's the license plate of that Mack truck that just steamed her over. Wow.
Stevie Schnorr, one of the more aggressive runners. One of the knocks on her, she runs very upright.
She does, like Eric Dickerson, she does, but she runs over and through defenders.
Very underrated running back, led the league in rushing in 2015. LA's defensive coordinator, Tui So'ono, is struggling right now to find any scheme to contain this high-powered offense. 2nd and 7 handoff again to the bank, or should I say the bull. Stevie Schnorr, this time the defense coming up, led by Lily Granston.
You know what I like? Coach Michelson, he saw that last couple series, KK Matheny, she was struggling. He goes back to his power back, Stevie Schnorr, and keeps getting the football in her hand, trying to pound this LA defense.
Any good West Coast style offense like Seattle is built on balance. They have to have the threat of the run game to have any success passing the ball. That's what Coach Michelson loves in Stevie Schnorr. LaShonda Fowler and Sage Steinmetz, now with the addition of Dominique Malloy. It is a loaded backfield for Seattle. They're going to look to hand off, fake to hand off now. Matheny back to pass. Little dump off to Danica Brace. Brace the safety valve, gains about 6 yards on the reception.
Again, heavy pressure by the defense of LA. Scary Sherry Awaga coming from the edge when the bull rush got right in Matheny's face, pulled her out of the pocket, and she couldn't deliver the ball down the field.
Now a 3rd and 1 play. Toss right, Stevie Schnorr getting through the defense and lighting up former teammate Lily Granston. Schnorr will pick up a first down, and that'll take us to a break. Stevie Schnorr, a little payback for a former teammate. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco and Desi Mitchison. We are at Citizens Business Bank Arena with Seattle rolling. Speaking of rolling, that's KK Matheny rolling right, overshooting her target. Her and Brent Renda having difficulties this afternoon.
The pressure by the Los Angeles defensive end is totally discombobulating this offense of Seattle. KK Matheny had receivers open, but she was forced and flushed out of the pocket and threw the ball over everybody's head.
LA obviously has seen something as far as game film. They are putting a lot of pressure off the edges all afternoon on KK Matheny. Now a 2nd and goal play. Ball remains at the LA 10-yard line. Splits right. Looks like Jessica Hopkins or Dominique Malloy actually in the backfield. Little toss play to Malloy, cutting inside. And meeting with some traffic. Lily Granston and Chelsea Hart. This defense not willing to give up an inch right now.
I'm impressed with his LA defense. They're hitting hard, a straight option right down to the right side. She pitched it out, and they came up and flat out stopped it. If they can somehow hold Seattle out of the end zone right here, this could be LA's ball game.
2-minute warning.
And that should bring us to the 2-minute warning. Seattle leading this game 7-6 in a true rivalry form.
Let's go.
Back to LFL football night action. A special Sunday afternoon edition here from Los Angeles. KK Matheny and the Legends Cup champion Seattle Mist leading this one 7-6, and now again threatening. Ball at the Los Angeles 5-yard line. Matheny back in the shotgun, observing the defense. Sherry Owaga almost jumped off sides. High snap. A release play deflected and caught by Jessica Hopkins. Incredible concentration by the Hall of Fame nominee.
Wow, what a play by Hopkins. She saw the blitz coming off the edge. She pointed it out to Matheny. The ball got deflected. It got to Hopkins anyway for a touchdown. Great heads-up play.
Jessica Hopkins, perhaps one of the most underrated slot receivers in the history of the game, coming through once again for Seattle.
This is 2 weeks in a row that Hopkins has caught a touchdown pass. Surprising, because Bryn Renda has been the go-to receiver for KK, but 2 weeks in a row now it's Jessica Hopkins.
That pass not intended for Jessica Hopkins, as Matheny continues to look for Bryn Renda with no luck. This time Renda flanking right. Not sure she was set there at the snap. Looking to the back of the end zone for Renda. And guess what? Overthrown again. That's saying a lot for a receiver that's nearly 6 feet tall.
Matheny is throwing the ball high all year long, 2 games in a row. She got serious heat from Owaga again, but Renda wide open for a touchdown. KK just couldn't hit her.
Jane Caldwell will go back to work. Her previous possession led to a touchdown pass to Sherry Owaga.
Wait for my whistle.
There's a lot of time left here in the first half. Jane Caldwell looked solid last series. Let's see if she can do it again.
They say the mark of a good quarterback is how she handles the 2-minute offense. Let's see how the young Aussie handles this. Great outside the shoulder pass. That was intended and received by her fellow Aussie, Kia Takarangi. That was good for 12 yards, now setting up a 1st and 10 at the Seattle 23. It did stop the clock as well. That's a handoff to Naz Johnson, the shifty free agent running back, is still pumping her legs, carrying the bull, Stevie Schnorr, for another 3 yards. Naz Johnson impressing early.
Wow, what a high motor by Naz Johnson. All running backs should watch this play. Watch this highlight film. Keep the legs pumping like pistons. They couldn't bring her down.
2nd and 4 now. Ball at the Seattle 17-yard line. That looked like that may be a false start on Megan Hansen, the center, moving the ball. We're getting another call here from Jeff Davis, our head referee.
Number 17 in the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Indeed, that was Megan Hansen. You cannot move the ball after it's been spotted.
That's a huge penalty. LA was on a roll with Takarangi in a big run. Naz Johnson putting it up the middle. And Jane Caldwell, she just looks like a proven quarterback right now. They can ill afford to have a penalty like that, and they had it.
That penalty backs them up to about the 23-yard line. Still plenty of time remaining here for a Los Angeles threat. This is going to be a shotgun handoff. Great open field tackle by Melee Rich on Naz Johnson.
It was a great tackle, but I'm not sure if it was legal. It was all around the head. It looked like a face mask. It looked like a shield mask. It looked like every kind of mask, but the refs let it go.
LA quick back to the line. Caldwell this time under center, dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle, has a receiver. Just overthrew Naz Johnson.
I love the way Jane Caldwell stepped up in the pocket. She climbed the ladder. She had Naz Johnson. Just need to put a little more air on it. Would have been a touchdown.
The Seattle secondary getting very lucky there. Naz Johnson, one of the sure-handed running backs in this league. Ball clearly overthrown. Head coach Chris Michelson also assisting with the defense as LA goes back to work here. Jane Caldwell from the shotgun, looking to the right side and threw behind her intended receiver, the tight end Takarangi.
Defense, let's go! On the ball, go, over the top, Jessica.
They need to do exactly that, stretch that LA defense. They have not tried going deep once tonight. I think right now, Chris Michelson just told his quarterback to try it deep.
And the opportunities they have taken down the field has been more intermediate with Brent Renda, but the balls have absolutely sailed. That's got to be one of the concerns if you're a Seattle Mist fan early in the season. The passing game is not where it was in 2015. A 1st and 10 play ball at the 21. Matheny back to pass, looking in the right flat. Nobody there. Great protection up front.
Balls away.
Buying time, finding a receiver. Finally connecting with Brent Renda. That was a 17-yard reception. Perhaps the best quarterback-receiver duo in league history. Finally connecting here as we now go down to the field to listen in on the LA huddle.
You three, get pressure right now, okay? They're gonna try to, they're seeing us dropping right now. Guess what they might do right now? Run underneath, okay? They got 25 seconds. We need to hold them for 25 seconds. Stay in your splits, safeties. Stay in your splits on the either side of the field. I don't want you guys crossing anything like this. Stay right in your hole where you guys are supposed to be at, straight back. React after the ball is thrown, okay? Don't react soon, at least because you see a receiver in your area, you're gonna go bolt over there. No, stay right in the middle between both. All threats are crossing on you guys back there, okay? No. Don't go on that.
Coach Sui Aonoa, he's telling his defense, stay in their zones. He's going to have his own defense, kind of a prevent defense. He doesn't want anybody coming across that zone or over the top of that zone. Let's see if it works.
Very little time remaining here in the first half. Perhaps time enough for 2 plays for this Seattle offense. KK Matheny, one of the more calmer and cool quarterbacks in the league. Now under center with 2 back set. Fakes the handoff, looking to the right side, back end zone. And look who she finally connects with. That is Brent Renda. The two have struggled all through the first half except for this drive.
Exactly what the coach did not order for LA. Watch Lily Cranston. She comes up on the fake. Just what the coach said not to do. She gets beat deep in the back of the end zone to Brent Renda. Wow, Renda and KK Matheny back together again. What a deadly duo.
Lily Cranston, the former Seattle Mist, so you know this feels a little better for Brent Renda and company. We saw earlier in the first half Stevie Schnorr blow up Lily Cranston. They've targeted her on defense.
Coach Sui Aonoa's got to be going nuts right now. That's just what he called a timeout for and told his defense, do not let up a touchdown like that.
And that's the Bull getting in on the extra point. That will extend Seattle's lead to 20-6. A commanding lead here in Los Angeles.
Looking back one series, Jane Caldwell, if she connects with a wide open Naz Johnson, it's a tied football game. But that was 4th down the next play, didn't get it. Here it is, 20-6, Seattle.
Jane Caldwell and company will have one more opportunity late here in the first half. Caldwell coming into this game having to fill some pretty big shoes with Ashley Salerno. Salerno exiting in the offseason. Enter the Jane Caldwell era. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Looking down the field in the seam. Nobody there. I'm not sure if that was just wrong pattern or wrong assignments.
I think she thought Cynthia Schmidt was going to do a post pattern. She did a 9 route, a go pattern, and the ball wasn't even close. But it's okay. It's not a mistake. You get another time to tee it up. You just don't want to have an interception right now.
Los Angeles will have one more opportunity here. We are under 10 seconds remaining in the first half. A half that's seen Seattle up 20-6.
Down.
LA having multiple opportunities, just could not capitalize. Let's see if Caldwell has the arm here. Under pressure, going to take off with it. Can she get out of bounds? Stays in bounds. And you could see the LA coaches going livid, trying to get everyone back to the line of scrimmage.
What an athletic play by Jane Caldwell, making a big play out of nothing, almost taking it in the end zone. She still has 6 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if she can pull it through right now.
It should be 8 seconds.
Coach Sui Noah yelling that there should be more time on the clock. Nonetheless, Los Angeles should have one more opportunity at the end zone. Caldwell back to pass from the shotgun, right side. Overshoots her target, Cynthia Schmidt.
Wow, great call. Cynthia Schmidt at 6'1". She was open on the corner route. I thought Caldwell got the ball to her. Great defensive play, almost a touchdown for LA.
Schmidt, an all-fantasy wide receiver, not targeted this game, except for that last play at 6'1". That'll bring us to the end of the first half. Back after this. Back here to LFL Football Night inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. Now, Bobby, Seattle's got a 20-6 lead in this one. But you know what? LA had their opportunities in the first half.
Absolutely. The score is no indication how close this game was in the first half. There were 2 key plays, however. Jane Caldwell, she threw that interception right into coverage. Then that key deflection where Seattle went in for 6. Other than that, it's a pretty close game.
You mentioned the deflection pass for a touchdown. KK Matheny has caught fire in the first half of this one, throwing for 3 touchdown passes. Along with the deflection to Hopkins, she found Bryn Renda first on this 6-yard touchdown pass. Then follow that up with another one to Renda, this one from 12 yards out. LA did manage to get into the scoring here when Jane Caldwell found a streaking Sherry Awaga, and I say streaking, for 27 yards. That brings us to our halftime score of 20-6. Now let's take a look at the first half stats.
The story in the first half was that Seattle offense, which racked up 125 yards of total offense, mainly on the arm of KK Matheny. Somehow in that second half, LA has to stop that offense.
LA is down 20-6. As the athletes return to the field, we're going to get you ready for the second half kickoff. Say it with me, America. Kickoff is next. Back to LFL Football Night. In a game that has the Seattle Mist up 20-6, we go down to the field now with Desi Mitchison.
I'm down here with Monique Gaxiola. Mo, you guys are down 20-6. What is it going to take for you to mount a rally?
It's going to take for our quarterback to connect to our receiver. She's a hell of a runner, but right now we're making huge mistakes on offense. The defense is shutting down, but, I mean, there's only so much we can do and turn around and stop. Our offense has to connect, and that's what the difference in the second half is going to be.
Well, there you have it. Back to you guys.
That's not a great sign when Mo Gaxiola is already pointing fingers at the offensive side of the football. We think Jane Caldwell played okay in the second quarter, but Mo Gaxiola right there is putting it all on the offense.
And not just on the offense, very specifically on Jane Caldwell. We will see how that plays out here in the second half. A high kick by Sage Steinmetz. Sailing over the back of the end zone. Naz Johnson will not have an opportunity. And we will see what Jane Caldwell, how Jane Caldwell, that is, responds here in the second half.
Great kick by Sage Steinmetz. What a weapon when you have a player that can kick it out of the back of the end zone. That stops the ball from going to Naz Johnson, our most exciting player on offense.
LA will now have its first opportunity on offense. And look who's emerging at quarterback. That's Kiera Patterson, the backup. Apparently, Monique Gaxiola has more power in that locker room than we thought. As Jane Caldwell seems to be benched. That's a quick dump off to Takaranga. Only good for about a yard.
When I interviewed Coach Sui Aonoa before the game, he actually liked her equally to Jane Caldwell at quarterback. A great athlete back there. I'm not sure I'd put her in right now unless this was planned. A good run right there, but this has got to hurt the confidence of Jane Caldwell.
Sherry Awaga getting things started correctly here with a 10-yard carry. Getting back to the Jane Caldwell situation, I agree, Bobby. It looked like she was gaining some momentum late in the second half or first half. And then I don't understand why you would bring in your backup to start the third quarter.
Unless it was in the game plan. Sometimes when you're not sure about the quarterback situation, you say, you take the first, you start the second, and we'll see how things work out.
And that is a bubble screen to Cynthia Schmidt. I'm not sure if she didn't lose that ball. It looks like Melee Rich may have recovered it, but they're going to call her down.
Wow, I didn't hear a whistle. This will be interesting. Just a quick screen, get the ball to Cynthia Schmidt, but I'm not sure, Mitch.
You could see that is Chris Michelson asking what is the call on the field. The referee saying she was down.
LA should try to get this snap off. Up, they're going to stop it.
That is Jeff Davis, our head referee.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't ruling that the progress was stopped. So I'm ruling that the ball left her hand before the knee went down.
Okay.
The ruling on the field is the knee's down.
Knee's down.
I'm saying it wasn't, and we got the ball. The ball was loose before the knee was down.
And you could hear Chris Michelson challenging possession.
Previous play is being challenged. Ruling on a field is the runner's knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
I think that's a great call by Coach Michelson. I didn't hear a whistle, and I didn't see the knee hit the ground either, and the ball is definitely out.
We're going to get a look at it here from the truck. And you could see Cynthia Schmidt, her momentum had stopped there. And obviously we cannot hear a whistle. Let's see, that's her arm down, and she seems to have possession.
The hand's down, but that ball still loose. Hopkins pulls the ball out. I got a feeling Seattle's going to get the football.
From my perspective, it looked like she had possession, and her hand was down on the ground.
Which is not down if the knee's not down. The hand on the ground doesn't make it down. Elbow makes you ground, but not the hand.
Any contact with the ground, as I understand it, marks the ball down.
No, not with the hand. It's got to be an elbow.
Here's the call from Jeff Davis.
After further review, the play stands.
Go!
And they're gonna agree with me on this one, Bobby. They're gonna say she was down.
Yeah, but Mitch, if I agree with you, then we're both wrong.
And Chris Michelson, head coach, not agreeing with the call. So Los Angeles will retain possession. Kiera Patterson stays in the game, evading the rush, getting to the outside. And that is one of the things she will give you is mobility.
Maybe we're wrong. She's got a little spark going right here. They're moving the ball down the football field. We talked a lot about Jane Caldwell, and she might be upset, but right now, LA's moving the football.
Ball now down to the Seattle 13-yard line. That Patterson run was good enough for a first down. So to your point, absolutely, there seems to be a bit of spark with this LA offense right now. Patterson remains in the shotgun, have a little bit of motion. Fakes that, throws it in the flat. That looked to be complete to Sherry Awaga. Surprisingly enough, Awaga is factoring into the passing game.
Great read by Patterson. They came with an all-out casino blitz. Patterson read it, a quick out route by Awaga, and a great pass. They might take this in. Great drive by LA so far to start the third quarter.
Sometimes you just need that spark, and often it comes from the backup quarterback. And perhaps LA is onto something here with Kiera Patterson.
Get a touchdown.
First and goal at the Seattle 3-yard line. A golden opportunity for Los Angeles. Bad snap and handle. And she's not getting anywhere. That was Kim Chase and Sage Steinmetz. Chase being a former Los Angeles Temptation player herself.
A double bad by center Megan Hansen, a bad snap, and then she missed her block to top it off, which stopped up the whole play. Not good by Hansen.
Exactly.
A perfect opportunity on the previous play for Los Angeles. Now they're backed up to the 9-yard line.
I can't tell you how important that center quarterback exchange is. Right there, they're going in, now they're going backwards.
Kara Patterson from the shotgun. It looked to be a bad snap to the right, although that's one that you'd think Kiera Patterson should handle.
It's catchable, but then again, Megan Hansen has had this problem before, and just bad snaps, they're taking this team backwards. I'm blaming that one on Hansen again.
They keep going the other way. That is another loss of 6 yards. What started out at the 3-yard line, a 1st and goal, will now be a 3rd and goal from the 21.
Wow, you talk about a momentum killer. That's what center exchanges like that do for you. Now Seattle's got the confidence back, and now new quarterback, but it's probably shaky. Now they're back at midfield.
Kiera Patterson remains at shotgun. Again, another bad snap to the right, and they're just going the wrong way. Sage Steinmetz recovering all the way back to the Los Angeles 8-yard line. Unbelievable turn of events. Seattle now taking over. We will go to break as they lead 20-6. Back to LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco and Desi Mitchison in a game that has Seattle up 20-6. End around reverse. That is Dominique Malloy. Malloy showing that speed, getting to the outside. A great weapon for Seattle pickup here in the offseason.
It is fun to watch her run the football. She comes on that fly end around like that, just give her the football, and she outruns everybody for 6 yards. Almost took it in the end zone, but what a new weapon for Seattle.
A 6-yard gain by Dominique Malloy. Now a 3rd and goal, ball at the 5-yard line. LA defense in backpedaling, and they've been put in a very bad position here by the offense.
Mo Gaxiola has got to be totally frustrated. Right now, the offense put him in this position again.
3rd and goal, release play, almost intercepted and dropped by the Hall of Fame middle linebacker. She does not do that often. Another big opportunity for Los Angeles, simply lost.
In big games like this, you have to make big plays. And of all people, Mo Gaxiola dropped an easy interception.
This is the play of the game. A 4th and goal for Seattle. You got to factor if Seattle scores here, it could be the nail in the coffin.
Absolutely. This is the play of the game for Gaxiola and this LA defense.
Matheny will remain in shotgun where she feels comfortable. Stevie Schnorr and Bren Renda flank to the right. And here comes that LA rush. Matheny scrambling right, deflected. That looked like Delaney Hall and Lily Granston in coverage.
Great play by Granston. She wasn't going to get sucked up like she did on that last touchdown pass. And Matheny threw the ball inside. For Hopkins to have a chance, it had to be thrown outside, kind of over the wall. But LA, they stood their ground and got the ball back.
Ball's back there in the 5.
You want to talk about momentum changer, that is it. You could see life on the LA bench. Even the Pirates more into it.
The Pirates fired up. Johnny Depp there on the sideline. But more interesting, look who's back at quarterback, Jane Caldwell.
That leads me to believe what you said earlier, that was simply a package that LA wanted to look at, not necessarily a quarterback change.
You're right. That would not surprise me at all because Coach Suianoa told me that he wanted to take a look at Patterson at quarterback.
And the shifty moves of Naz Johnson, number 20, the free agent pickup from the Atlanta Steam, gaining 5 yards on the carry.
We talked all night long about the running game of Seattle, but Naz Johnson, the addition to Los Angeles from this Atlanta running back, she is one of the most exciting running backs I've ever seen in the LFL. And it's only a matter of time before she breaks one.
They are trying to get Naz Johnson more into open spaces. But with that Seattle defense, very athletic on the edges. There's a look at Melee Rich. one of the better tackling corners in the league. Caldwell will go under center now. A 2nd and 5 play. That is a handoff. That looks like it went to Kia Takarangi. Takarangi, a major part of this offense in this first game.
Takarangi is one of the best athletes ever to come out of Australia. It's great here, and I like hearing all these girls from Australia talk. In fact, when they write stuff down, they have an accent too.
A 1st and 10 after that rush. Ball at the LA 16-yard line as Danica Brace looks on. Naz Johnson remains in the backfield. Takarangi, they're going to fake it to her. A little pitch out to Johnson. Nobody fooled. Melee Rich is having an incredible game at the corner position.
Miscommunication right there. That was a misplay. Nobody blocked Melee Rich, and the play went right at her, and she made an easy tackle.
That was only a 3-yard gain by Johnson. Now a 2nd and 7. LA still remaining within striking distance. Only down 14 points.
A lot of time left. If they get a score here, it's a whole new ball game.
Jane Caldwell starting to look more comfortable at the quarterback position. And that was a throw in the flat to Sherry Awaga where they've had some success. Hopkins in coverage.
She was open. She delivered a high ball right there. Hopkins came over there late. A great play action pass. Just a poor pass by Caldwell.
Caldwell, it is going to take time for her to work out timing techniques and touch. Keep in mind, she just came over from Australia literally a month and a half ago.
I study quarterbacks, and I like what I see. This is her first start in LA, but I think she's going to be a good one.
A 3rd and 7 play, looking in the flat. That was an identical pass play. This time it looked like they were going to go for the go pattern with Cynthia Schmidt.
It was kind of a back shoulder pass to Cynthia Schmidt. She stands 6'1". It was man-to-man coverage deep. All she has to do is put the ball up, and that's a catch.
4th and 7 now. The play calling a little suspect on this drive. You're having some success on the ground, and they decide to open it up, and here they are at 4th and 7.
2 incompletions, but I like the calls. I mean, with good passes, there are 2 completions.
Let's see if Caldwell has one more play here. From the shotgun, dropping back to pass, looking to the right side, flat, has Sherry Awaga. What a clutch play by Jane Caldwell and Sherry Awaga.
They're killing Jessica Hopkins one-on-one just with a basic out route.
Slow! You gotta guard the 6 yards for the first down. You're picking your ass back here. She's doing the same route over and over. All 3 times you're slow. Is it the end? You are slow as shit. It's embarrassing. They're running the same play 3 times in a row. Guard the first.
You want to play for Chris Michelson, you better bring your lunch pail. Absolutely getting on Jessica Hopkins, and that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd. Back for the final 10 minutes of action here at Citizens Business Bank Arena with the home team trailing 20-6. That's Jane Caldwell finding Naz Johnson. And Johnson to her feet gets 17 yards on that pass reception.
Wow, Naz Johnson, when she got here from Atlanta, she came with instructions. And the instructions were just get the ball in her hands like that. They came with a full blitz. She came underneath. She gets the football. How exciting is she when she runs down the field? Wow.
Number 20 looking a little Reggie Bush-esque. They've talked about giving her the ball in the open field and watching her do exactly that. There's a reason they brought Naz Johnson in from Atlanta, and that is Jane Caldwell. Showing a little bit of her strength all the way down to the goal line. And they're going to give her a score.
This crowd is going nuts. How about Jane Caldwell? I think putting Patterson in the game put a fire inside of her. She took the temptation right down the field. How about this run? You talk about a running back or a quarterback. I say, wow, she's both.
She just lowers her shoulder, and the question is, does she cross the goal line? That was a good look at it. It looked like with the second effort, the ball crossed the pylon.
That was way too close to call. You have to give her a touchdown.
And now Los Angeles officially back into this game, trailing by 8.
Down.
Going for the 1-point conversion here.
Go.
Caldwell going to look to throw in the flat, completes to Naz Johnson. No chance. A host of Seattle defenders led by Danica Brace and Jessica Hopkins.
Seattle defense swarmed to the football there, but the score, LA right back in the game. They're only down 8 points with a lot of time left.
Naz Johnson making an impression on that drive. That was an 8-play, 45-yard drive, taking up almost 4.5 minutes.
KK Matheny, she can afford no mistakes right now. They have to just take a lot of the clock out of the game, run the ball, give the ball to Stevie Schnorr.
A 1st and 10 for this high-powered Seattle offense. Another opportunity to get Los Angeles out of this game. Ball at the 15-yard line. Matheny under center, hands it off to Stevie Schnorr. Schnorr gaining 3 yards before Sherry Awaga gains the tackle.
That's exactly what they're doing behind the blocking of Danica Brace, Steinmetz, and Jenna Weiss. They just want to pound it right now, run some clock.
That is exactly right, and I'm not sure if this offense is exactly built for running clock. They're tuned up to score points, Bobby.
They are. They can explode at any time, but the way LA took the football down the field, you just want to slow their progress down right now.
So much for Seattle sitting on the ball. They're in shotgun now. Matheny deep, probably about 6 yards deep. And no hurry to get the snap off. Here comes the shotgun snap. Big pressure off the edge. That is Megan Hansen, her former teammate. Hansen having a poor first half trying to make up for it.
There is no blitz here. This is a great speed rush from the outside by Hansen and Awaga on the other side. And then Mo Gaxioli saw the underneath receiver and took her out. Great play the LA defense. This crowd is going crazy right now. LA's back in it.
The silver and black Temptation Nation representing here. Although Seattle also had a lot of fans travel to Ontario. This looks to be a classic, everything that we'd hoped this thing would live up to. This could be one of those games where it comes down to the final drive.
Huge play for KK Matheny right now, 3rd and 12. Let's see what she has.
Another shotgun play for Seattle going down the field. Nobody there. Overthrown. You could see Bren Renda just throwing her hands up. It did not appear they were on the same playbook there.
Actually, it's good it was overthrown. She threw into double coverage. There was nothing there. If it would have been inbounds, it would have been picked off.
Now, for fans watching at home wondering why Seattle is throwing the ball, the clock runs regardless, whether it's a pass or a run, until we get to the 2-minute mark of the 4th quarter. So that doesn't really factor into their decision-making. They're just looking to move the sticks.
Play of the game right here. If somehow LA can stop Seattle, they got a chance to tie this game up.
Seattle keeping in an extra blocker there to give Matheny some time. No help. Sherry Awaga and Megan Hansen are playing possessed.
She might have been down right there. I think they gave her the benefit of the doubt and gave her incompletion, but it looked like a sack to me.
Sherry Awaga is an absolute beast coming off the edge.
Jane Caldwell, who would have called this? She didn't even start the second half, and here it is with 6 minutes left in the game. She's got a chance to win this game or tie it right now.
You could see Danica Brace, the leader of the defense for Seattle, knowing the importance of getting a stop here. And if you're wondering, these two teams routinely play it close. Literally 8 of the 10 matchups these franchises have been decided by a touchdown or less, and 7 by 5 points or less. That's a quick screen to Naz Johnson. Johnson gaining 2 yards on the reception.
Only 2 yards, but I really like the call. Naz Johnson's playing hot right now. Just get her the football.
It is like a basketball player. She is in a zone, and they're going to try to get her the ball as much as possible. LA 11 yards out from a score. That's Sherry Awaga. That's just a brute strength of number 15. And she'll gain 2 yards.
Outstanding play by Danica Brace. It looked like Awaga for a second might break that for a touchdown, but Brace wrestled her down for no gain.
It looks like there may be a penalty on the play. Head referee Jeff Davis and crew debating. This could be a very vital call here.
At the end of the play, personal foul for 15 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Third down.
Wow, that is a big personal foul call on Los Angeles. Let's see if we can get a look here.
You kicked her.
I didn't necessarily see anything with that replay.
She kicked Danica Brace, but it wasn't a kick. It was like, just get off of me. I can't believe the refs made that kind of a call at this point in the ball game.
That is an absolute drive killer. Naz Johnson not getting anywhere, only gaining a yard. Getting back to that play, when you've got two rivals, two veteran franchises like this, you cannot call it that close.
That was not a flagrant kick. That was like somebody just grabbing your knee or your ankle and just like kind of a flick, just get off of me. Cannot believe he made that call.
That will go down as one of the worst calls we've seen. Now a 4th and 15 for Los Angeles. This is do or die. Under 5 minutes remaining. Caldwell looking to the right as a receiver. Cynthia Schmidt, that looked like face guarding to me.
Absolutely, there better be a flag on that play. It was underthrown, but Schmidt ran right through. That has to be pass interference.
You can see Schmidt clearly upset here. Let's see if we get a flag. Indeed, we've got a flag on the field. It looked like LaShonda Fowler, who was in coverage, was completely out of position.
That's not a makeup call. That was just pass interference. Cynthia Schmidt is a receiver. She knows that's interference.
Whenever you don't turn your head to look for the ball, you're going to get the flag.
As an old quarterback, a bad pass made that play work.
Jeff Davis still explaining the play.
Hey, half the distance! Half the distance!
Pass interference on a defense, number 8. 10-yard penalty from previous spot. First down.
And you could see head coach Chris Michelson of the Seattle Mist absolutely irate. He thought it was a half the distance call versus a spot foul. Jane Caldwell sending Naz Johnson in motion, now handing it off to her. Like a pinball machine, just making her way through the defense.
Danica Brace is an absolute beast. What a jump cut by Naz Johnson. I thought she was going to break it wide open for a touchdown. Brace somehow wrestled her down again. I cannot believe how good a football player she is.
You could see that Seattle defense telling everybody to settle down, as Los Angeles is only 6 yards away from potentially tying this game. Caldwell remains under center. Inside handoff to Sherry Owaga, and they cannot get Sherry Owaga down. There's a reason they call her Scary Sherry. All 185 pounds of muscle.
She actually outran her blocks right there. Instead of waiting for Megan Hansen's block, she ran around Hansen and still almost got in the end zone.
That'll set up a Los Angeles 3rd and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. Scary Sherry Owaga back into the game, but Los Angeles calling a timeout, and they're threatening. Back for the conclusion of LFL football night, an epic matchup, Los Angeles versus Seattle. In a key 3rd and goal play, bad snap and a poor handle by Jane Caldwell. It appears every time Los Angeles has a chance, there's something to do with the center to quarterback exchange.
Unbelievable. That is what cost LA the game. If they don't win this game, it's because of center snaps. When Patterson was in the game at quarterback, they were in the red zone going in, and snaps took them all the way down the field the other way. Here we go again. They got a chance to walk in the end zone and a bad snap.
That is inexcusable. I don't care if it's your first game of the season. If you can't manage a simple snap from center, you have no business being a football team.
They're back on the 6-yard line. That's huge.
A 4th and goal now. Ball at the 6-yard line. Caldwell going to try to make it happen with her feet. Major collision with number 8, Danica Brace. And she will not get it, and Seattle will take over.
That is absolutely the play of the game right there. Caldwell should have maybe tried to juke Brace, not take her head on. You can't take Danica Brace one-on-one, and it showed right there. She won that battle, but wow, how close.
That's going to be the stop of the game. That is one person in the open field you do not want to see, Danica Brace. Now Seattle will simply have to sit on the ball for the final 3 minutes of this ball game. 1st and goal at the 2 of Seattle. Hand off to the Bull. When in doubt, give it to her. And Schnorr bulldozes for about 7 yards.
Stevie Schnorr, she's going to get the ball a lot here in the last 3 minutes, but it's amazing how close LA's offense got to that end zone.
The clock continues to run. Los Angeles had their opportunities. One of the things they're going to have to look back on is Megan Hansen, a consistent enough center to take the rest of the way.
Megan Hansen's a great player. I mean, she was all league, but you can't have that many mistakes. It cost them the ball game.
Ball now at the 9-yard line. A quick toss play. That looked to be Dominique Malloy. That'll be enough for a Seattle first down and move the sticks.
Okay, let's go.
That play will also bring us officially to the 2-minute warning. A game Seattle leads 20-12. Back for the final 2 minutes of football. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco and Desi Mitchison. And Bobby, this is a game we all anticipated would come down to the wire. It has done just that.
Every time these two teams get together, it's a close game. This one I didn't think was going to be close the way the first quarter played out, but it is definitely close. LA's got to come up with a steal right now.
And you could see that defense trying to strip the ball from Stevie Schnorr. That is about the only option left for the silver and black. That was a 7-yard carry by Schnorr. Now a 2nd and 3. KK Matheny in complete control of this offense. Down to under 2 minutes remaining, and Seattle possibly going to 2-0, while Los Angeles will drop to 0-1 unless there's a drastic change and potential turnover here.
Both teams practice this scenario in practice. On offense, obviously, you want to run the clock down. But LA, you got to stand up the runner. Then other teammates got to come in there and strip the ball.
2nd and 3, LA nearly jumping offside. Handoff to Stevie Schnorr. We do have a flag. If that flag's against Los Angeles, that should be pretty much the end of the game. If it's against Seattle, that'll cost them a game-ending first down.
They're going to decline this one.
Looks like the Seattle fans are pretty happy about it, as are the Seattle Mist players.
Offsides on the defense.
That was offsides on Los Angeles. It'll be declined, and that'll be a first down for the Seattle Mist.
That might do it. I hate to see the game end like this, but I think that might do it. One more play.
Okay, first down.
Seattle just lining up in a victory formation here.
Go down. Hey, tell her to go down.
KK Matheny continuing to have success in Seattle. Capitalizing off that Legends Cup season last year. With this win, Seattle will have a commanding lead of the Western Conference, with the Austin Acoustics sitting at 0-1, and now the Los Angeles Temptation at 0-1.
She's going to run the clock down right now. Just probably hand it to Schnorr and just hold on to the football.
They'll just need to run one more play. They do that. Stevie Schnorr breaking through arm tackles. And now Seattle will just need to get under center one more time. They get to escape Los Angeles with a big-time win against a rival.
I don't think Coach Michelson's going to be happy with this win. Again, they're 2-0, sitting in first place, but this is not the way he wants to win football games. He's got more talent than anybody in the league, and they're scraping by LA with a new quarterback.
Not to mention they did struggle against Austin quite a bit at home. But a win is a win. At the end of the year, you look at the standings, and Seattle's up, as of right now at least, 2-0.
Hey, come on, this way. Made the wrong choice. Hey, you got it. You're done.
There is no love lost between those two players. Granston and KK Matheny. She just told Granston she picked the wrong team. She should have stayed in Seattle. Wow.
You don't think there's a little love lost between these two? It should make for a very interesting end-of-game handshake. Monique Gaxiola not happy about this effort. On the opposite side, number 15 absolutely ecstatic.
We mentioned in pregame, I will totally not be surprised to see these two in the Western Conference Championship. LA's got a lot of talent.
And that will do it for LFL football night. For Bobby Huco, Desi Mitchison, this is Mitch Mortaza. We will see you next week from Austin.